Howdy, folks. How is the sound? Before anything at all, let me know. See if I can bring the mic closer to me, and I can maybe come a bit closer to the desk. That should make it even better. Howdy, Evan J. Sims, and hello, Purple Boy. How is everyone today? I've let myself rest today. Because I recently finished a 70-minute video about 8 different movies. So yeah, I've been watching films and documentaries all day. It's kind of been my jam today. I've been watching Three Men and a Baby. I'm mainly watching stuff that are on Disney Plus or Netflix, obviously. And yeah, I checked out Three Men and a Baby. It's alright. It's alright. The main characters are complete idiots, but like it's held up decently for an 80s comedy. And it's pretty cute. It's kind of cute. What do you mean by are you talking about the animated superhero movies? Oh, so yeah, so what I was talking about before, the whole 70-minute video, that's referring to a video that should be up tomorrow, called The Exciting World of Animated of straight-to-video animated superhero movies. That should be up tomorrow night, UK time. It should be up midday for, like, Americans. Bored and burnt out? No, I'm not burnt out or bored. Burnout rarely happens to me. And I rarely get bored. So no, I'm neither of those things. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions at all. Any questions whatsoever. Purple Boy, I've worked all afternoon, only took one 10-minute break. Wow, just one 10-minute break. You're making me feel lazy. Ghost from 13, hi Jam, I'm watching while eating a jam donut with a knife and fork, drinking a milkshake made from chocolate ice lolly. That sounds amazing. Oh, that sounds so good. That sounds like the kind of stuff I have. Whenever I go eating with friends, I'm usually the only one that gets the desserts afterwards. Everyone else is full. I'm like, nope, dessert. My favourite part of the meal. Ethan Free Director, sorry I missed your chat. Don't worry about missing streams. You're never obligated to come to these things. Evan J. Sims, I was just watching your review of Frozen. Do you still have the same feelings? I don't know, because I've not rewatched Frozen for a very long time. And I don't know when I will again. I don't know. I just don't know. So yeah, I can't really say. I do not know how I feel about it now, because I've not gone back to it. I don't think I've watched Frozen since I actually reviewed it, so yeah, sorry, no update there. Might end up like covering it for. I'm thinking of doing like a Frozen re-review next to a Frozen 2 review. I don't know, but I know when I get the courage to do so, I'll be doing a tier list for 2010's Disney villains. That'll give me an excuse to definitely check out Frozen again and watch Frozen 2. Purple Boy, have you watched and reviewed Valiant yet? If you're referring to the Pigeon movie, yes, I have reviewed that. Goes from 13, it is amazing. I even recently started making milkshakes by melting chocolate down in the microwave. Why don't I think about that? You know, I really like to get it, and this is the kind of thing they usually serve at fast food restaurants. Like, okay, so I remember going to this restaurant quite a lot in Sheffield where they had a huge bowl of loads of different kinds of British chocolate bars, and you basically said to them, you basically picked a chocolate bar from that bowl, and they turned that into a milkshake. It was so good. It just added an experience, and you always kind of like, oh, which chocolate bar shall I try turning into a milkshake this time? Oh, it's great. But I also really like getting takeaway milkshake. I've been doing that sometimes. When I get a takeaway pizza or burger, I always get the takeaway brownie milkshake straight after. So yeah, I kind of wish I spent more time experimenting with milkshakes myself. Socialist Yorkshire Daddy, what's gonna be Wednesday's quiz? Shrek. It's gonna be the Shrek movies. I feel like it's gonna be really meme heavy. It's gonna end up being like that. I've not started writing it yet. I think I will start writing it after the stream. Yeah. It's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be very fun. There's just so much I could work with because there's 4 different films, and there's such a lore behind Shrek, and the behind the scenes are interesting too. So it's gonna be a really fun quiz to write and host. I'm looking forward to that. Even for director, are you gonna watch Sonic 2 when it comes out? Possibly, yeah, when it does come out. But at the same time, I need to see the trailer, see what they have planned for it. Evan Jason's just wondering, is the Southpaw movie still one of your favourite movies of all time? I don't know. I really don't know my top 10 favourite films anymore. They've changed so rapidly. Like, I know for now my favourite is A Silent Voice. My second favourite is a Goofy movie. My third favourite would be maybe Son of Rambo, and that's it. I'd probably throw in Tokyo Godfathers in there as well. But yeah, I just don't know. Oh, and Porco Rosso, I'd have that. So yeah, I don't know what my top 10 would be at this point. I'd really have to like sit down and do it again. But I don't want to keep doing top 10 favorite film videos again and again every time they change, because then there'll be way too many. So I'd rather just leave what I had at the time. That's there. So yeah. Why am I in the chat now? Social Silks Daddy, I need to go to that restaurant. I forgot what it was even called. It was near to my university though. Which was also near to my university apartment. Why am I in the chat? Every time. Goshi Fan 13, yeah, I recommend you try some of my milkshake ideas. I'm gonna keep it in mind for sure. Purple Boy, try reviewing Robots. My brother loves that movie. I've done a quickie review of Robots, but I go into more detail in it for my top 5 best and worst Blue Sky Studios movies video. Temperman24, I missed your Jambareeqi reviews where you went over story, characters, animation, actors. I know people missed the show, but I just didn't enjoy making it anymore. It just wasn't. It wasn't how I didn't enjoy writing like that anymore. Like that kind of structure. It just wasn't fun anymore. Yeah. So sorry, but my best mate Karan's son, who does music and sound for my channel and other things, he really wants to carry that format on. He'd really like to do a show with that format because he likes that format. So definitely subscribe to Karan's son. Because yeah, he's gonna be making some really interesting things this year. He's gonna be taking formats that I created and carrying on because he likes them, and he's like, I want to try that. Whoa! Well, the chat's going really fast now. Summon Water. You're relieved. Oh, sorry. Some water. You're relieved that CS Music is getting likely Razzies. That's a good point, because I remember there was like buzz that Music was going to be nominated for an Oscar, and I looked at the nominations today. Music's not there, so thank goodness. For those who don't know, basically, Popstar Singer has made an awful movie doing a horrible, harmful depiction of autistic people. And I don't want to watch it. The thing is, I want to see reviews of it out of morbid curiosity, but I don't want to watch it. I don't want to support her. I don't want to support the film. At the same time, I don't want to watch clips because I just know it's just going to make me feel miserable. Where am I in the chat? Purple Boy, have you reviewed any cartoons? And if so, can you review The Amazing World of Gumball or Invader Zim? I think there's an Invader Zim. Okay, so in terms of Invader Zim, there's a review of the Halloween special, like a standalone review of the Halloween special. I also bring that up again in my 31 Halloween cartoons video, and I talk about the Invader Zim Christmas special in the 25 Winter Holiday animated specials. That's pretty much all I've covered with Invader Zim. I'd like to do more Zim videos though, because I adore Invader Zim. I'd love to do a video on Enter the Flopus. It's friggin' brilliant. For those who, any Invader Zim fans that have not seen Enter the Floorpage yet, do it. So good, so damn good. But Amazing World of Gumball. So my thumbnail artist Leo Mitchell is insisted that I check out Amazing World of Gumball, and I will at some point. I definitely will. It seems like my cup of tea. My Manor Show in 1998. Hi, did you see the Spiderwick Chronicles movie? I did. I went to go and see it there as part of like a college field trip, and I remember it, but I've not seen it since then. And I've seen some like takes of people saying like, "Oh, it's underrated. You've got it deserves way more attention." I'm like, "Ooh, maybe it was worth remembering." So yeah, I do want to revisit it. Gage from 13. I remember you recalling how great your Australian grandfather is. Out of curiosity, what fictional granddad or old person would you say he's like? I don't know, because there's not really any. There's not. Old people don't really get the kind of depiction that my granddad gets, because he's like one of a kind. For those who don't know, I have a granddad who was born in South Africa, but he lives in Australia and has a very strong Australian accent. And he, before he retired, he was a helicopter pilot for like American rock stars and singers. He'd basically fly them from the US to Australia. And he flew people like Diana Ross and Rolling Stones, all that kind of jam. And even though he's retired, he's still very active. He does Tai Chi. He can use slingshots. He actually has like a slingshot and he'll like fire it. And he what else is so he can windsurf. He windsurfs. He's I think he's almost 80 and he windsurfs. But at the same time, he's very friggin' funny, but like a great kind of funny, not like a cringe granddad kind of funny. Like, he's very witty, and he'll make these really funny observations at family get-togethers. He just makes everyone laugh and smile. So I don't know. I really don't know any old characters like that. He's just so unique. I can't think off the top of my head. Sorry. I think maybe the closest I can think of on the spot would be the granddad from Laid Back Camp. He's real like that. He's very chill. He's very cool. But at the same time, he's very active. Nathan Lagandu, are you hyped for Space Jam 2? Nope, no. So at first I was kind of like about it because I didn't really know anything about it. Then I read the plot and I saw stills and I was like, this looks like 10 times more corporate than the original. How do you do that? Like, the plot involves something to do with like LeBron James's Instagram followers or something, and it's just like everything that I read in that plot. Oh, and it's like some kind of like Warner Brothers multiverse. I was like, this just sounds like a focus group meeting or a marketing meeting decided the plot for this film. It just sounds awful. Maybe it'll surprise me, but at this stage, based on what we've been given, I'm like, no, I've lost hope at this point. I really have. Which is a shame, because I was like thinking, you know what? I don't know anything about Space Jam 2 at the moment, but maybe they'll be very self-aware, and maybe they'll poke fun at itself, or maybe they'll expand on what the first Space Jam failed to do, and be a bit more imaginative, and it's like, nah. So yeah. Ethan Free Director, what's your favourite episode of Futurama? Possibly The Sting. Maybe. No, is it... Either The Sting, Game of Tones, or Stench and Stenchability. I'm leaning towards Stench. That's the episode where Zoidberg... It's like the ending of Zoidberg's story in Futurama Bait. And Zoidberg is my favourite Futurama character, so I find it really satisfying. March 1998. I saw a review of Rango. While the mayor was not much of a fun villain, what did you think of Rattlesnake Jake? I've not seen Rango in ages. I'm sorry. I don't know. I can't remember what I said in my review. Sorry. F&J Sims. I have that review format for my review series. Awesome. It's good that other people are keeping it going. It's just that I can't keep it going anymore. I don't find it fun to do anymore. Temperman 24. Have you seen the Disney show Amphibia? Nope, but I know of it. I've seen it on Disney Plus. Evan J. Sims. Did you know that I have autism? I think you've said before in another chat. I'm not too sure. I know a lot of my fans are autistic, so it's a lot of the community that follows me are autistic people, so it's no surprise. Goes from 13. What do you think of Ricky Gervais? That's all I can say. I don't really have a strong opinion on him anymore. I used to be a big fan when I was a teenager, but now I'm like, nah. Pebble Boy, which is better, Kung Fu Panda or How to Train Your Dragon? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I can't decide. If you're talking about the franchises as wholes, that's really hard to decide, sorry. Senfuzuto, what did you dislike the most about your country? I'm just going to get a scroll. It ravels. There's too many things I dislike about my country, and it'll just make this stream depressing. It really will. If I can find, I'll say some things that are like kind of silly. So, it's constantly wet. It's constantly wet and constantly cold, and like a lot of American media will show it as like this beautiful country where everyone's rich and it's all perfect. It's like, no, it's miserable. So no, it's very wet, very cold, and when it's windy, it's friggin' painful. So yeah, I'll just go with that. Evan J. Sims, have you seen Moneyball with Brad Pitt? If you did you like it? I have not seen it, sorry. Boy, favourite movie you have ever watched? A Silent Voice. Review of it on my channel. Manager 1998. I read your review on Peter Pan. Do you consider Tinkerbell a villain? Because for the most part, she kind of is. Yeah, she technically is, but she's framed like an enchanted psychic or something like that. Boy, any thoughts on the new Spider-Man movie? I don't know. It's a bit too early to say anything. Social York's Daddy, The Sting is an amazing episode. It is. It's a great episode of Futurama. It's really trippy, really weird, but also so moving. And like the twist at the end is beautiful. Mine was 1998. When I saw a review of Elmo and Groachland, it reminded me of a direct-to-video Sesame Street film called Learning to Share, where this time Zoe asks to play with Elmo's favourite toy train. This time Elmo says, no, it's special, and Zoe ends up guilt-tripping him into letting her play with it. Yeah, like I said in my review, Sesame Street, sometimes they don't handle their lessons too well, particularly post-Jim Henson. So, yeah. Fan 13, I also remember how you said your uncle is the real-life Ned Flanders. Yeah, he is. Have you ever told him about that? And if so, what does he think of that comparison? Actually, I don't know. Because, like, my family have made that comparison for years, but I don't know if we've ever told him. So I don't know. And I don't know if I think he'd probably find it funny. I don't know. Because I'm not that close to my extended family. Because they either live in a different country or the other side of England. So, yeah. Ethan Free Director, do you still like Titan AE? I've not revisited it lately, so I don't know, but I probably would. Temperman24, do you hate Scrappy Doo? He's annoying, but at least he's useful, and he actually tries to fight the monsters. Keep that in mind. Temperman24, have you seen any of the DuckTales shows? I've seen the original classic DuckTales show, and I grew up with it, and I love the DuckTales movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp. I've only seen one episode of a reboot. Ethan Free Director, have you seen the Harold and Kumar movies, and what are your thoughts? Okay, so I rented Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies. Yes, it's called that in the UK, because we don't have White Castles. I rented that when I was a teenager. I remember enjoying it with my brother and friends. But I've not seen anything Harold and Kumar related since then. But next month I'm hoping to do a video about 3D movies, and there's going to be a whole section about 3D Christmas movies, and there's a 3D Harold and Kumar Christmas movie, so that'll give me a chance to revisit Harold and Kumar. But boy, Evan J. Sims, I'll admit, when I first saw Elmo and Groachland, I was almost traumatized. Oh, why? Was it like that? I remember there was a giant chicken. I remember there was like a cave. I can't remember any other scary bits. So York's daddy. Americans who think England's all a medieval village haven't seen Yorkshire. Yeah, when it comes to American media, the UK is either portrayed as like this, as if we're all wealthy, we're all living the Victorian era, or we're all living the medieval era. It's always like that. It's like, no. Go to Fan 13. I think another thing Americans get wrong about us Brits is that we like tea. It's more accurate to say we're obsessed with drinking alcohol. Yes. Yes, we've got the stereotype we all drink tea, but no, most of us just love booze. That's true. So social status is both. I guess it depends. I think maybe it's a divide between people who drink booze, people who drink tea, or both. Goes from 13. Out of all the Muppet content made after his death, what do you think Jim Henson will be most proud of and the least proud of? I don't know. I can't really speak on his behalf. I don't know. I'm trying to think what best represents his vision, and that's hard to say. Maybe Muppet Christmas Carol. I feel like Muppet Christmas Carol reflects his vision the most. So I'll probably go with that. And least proud of, something that goes against his vision. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe... I'm finding it really hard to remember the stuff that he really didn't like. He rarely talked about that, so I don't know, sorry. Temperament 24, have you seen the Delgo movie? Nope. Evan J. Sims, no, it was mainly because of Elmo being separated from his blanket for most of the movie. I get that. I can imagine at a very young age being kind of traumatized by that, especially when a blanket will be a child's sense of security. So I get that. Sinfasuto, what is your favorite horror movie of the last decade? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe the Babadook. Because I would even say the Babadook was a massive influence on my own horror short that I made the other year, Umbrella. The Babadook, It Follows, Get Out. Those are films that I'd say are definitely revitalizing horror nowadays. Even free director, have you seen Johnny Tuccello's video on Zoidberg? Oh no, but I'll definitely watch an editorial on Zoidberg. Ooh, that sounds good. Mine mentioned 1998. When I was little, I watched a show called Clifford's Puppy Days, where one of the lead characters has a special toy and is scared if he doesn't share it. He won't have friends. In the end, he tells everyone the truth, and they say, hey, we get it. We have a special toy we don't want anyone else to play with. We can still be friends, and if you have another toy that you don't want to share, it's okay. We'll understand. That's how you do it! It's like, yeah, sharing's great. It's good to teach kids sharing, but it's also important to teach kids about personal rights as well. So yeah, that sounds good. Social York study. I don't drink tea much personally, but it's a staple drink for many, like the kind of thing you offer guests. I never drink tea. I'm a coffee guy. I'm very much a coffee guy. And when it comes to alcohol, I'm a cocktail guy. Even free director, which Dr. Seuss project besides specials do you think is the most faithful? I don't know, because I've not read the books for ages, so I don't think I'm qualified to say. Social Shock Daddy, what's your thoughts on Blackadder? Love Blackadder. I love Blackadder so much. Big inspiration on my style of comedy. And I remember growing up, I had like a tradition for Fridays. I'd go to Scouts, like Boy Scouts, on the Friday evening, come back, have dinner, and then I'd stay up all night watching Father Ted and then Blackadder 2. So yeah, Blackadder 2 was... I love Blackadder. I love it to bits. It's definitely my sense of humour. Evan J. Sims, didn't you say that Jim Henson hated cash grabs in one of your videos? Oh, okay. If that's the case, then Commit Swamp Years. Yeah. Or maybe that Muppet sitcom, because I think that got accused for being a cash grab as well. So I don't know, but I've not seen the Muppet sitcom. Um, Go to 2013. What is your favorite Muppet song? Any song. Oh, this is hard. Any song from the Brian Henson movies, like When You're a Professional Pirate, um, the ending song for Christmas Carol, Belle from Christmas Carol, or It Feels Like Christmas. Any from Christmas Carol songs. Yeah. So I'd say anything. All my favorite songs are in the Brian Henson films, which are Muppet Christmas Carol, Muppet Treasure Island. uh, da, 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 da. Bevan Borges, have you seen the DreamWorks movie Ants? I have, but I just don't know what to make of it. Every time I watch it, I'm like, that was something. But yeah, maybe one day I have sometimes nominated it for Jambareeqi Orange, so maybe one day I'll win. Even free director, with Clifford getting a movie, do you think we'll get an Arthur or Dragon Tales movie? I don't really know Dragon Tales that much. An Arthur movie, I don't know. I think we already have one, don't we? I think there's like Arthur's Missing Pal. Isn't that one? So I think that's the closest we got. Temperman 24. Have you seen Ella Enchanted? Nope. Afraid not. Social Jokes Daddy. I like Bladder, but the queer phobia hasn't aged well. Oh, dang, does it have that? That's a frustrating thing. Every time I'm revisiting stuff that I loved from the 90s and 80s. Damn it. Go from 13. Do you remember your introduction to Japanese culture? In terms of culture, probably Akira Kurosawa films. Like I've said before, I was a very pretentious teenager, and I hunted down art house movies. And I remember going to a family friend's house, and they had like a massive Akira Kurosawa collection, and I asked to borrow like half of the DVDs there. So I just marathoned all of Kurosawa's films, and when I saw Ran, I was like, wow, I just became like so fascinated with Japanese culture through Ran. Ran is where it started. So yeah. Purple Boy, favorite takeout. My favorite takeout, I don't like to really get like mainstream fast food takeouts. I like to get like the nearby local takeouts. I like those, especially with ones that I've developed to like an acquaintanceship with the people who work there, and like they know me. I like those those are my favorite place to get takeouts from. Like my favorite takeout place in my village would be a place called Pizza. It's literally called that, and it's got like a Leaning Tower of Pisa on it. And I like going there. I really do. It's they put on a TV. It's the stuff to watch while you wait. People there are very friendly, and there's somewhere to sit while you wait. And really funny, weird people come in to get pizza and burgers. So some of the most interesting people I've met in Sheffield turned up in that takeaway place, usually drunk. Da, 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 da. Bethan Borges create a Wikitubia page for you. Thank you, but I don't like looking at that kind of stuff. Sorry. Very self-conscious. Where am I in the chat? I think I've missed a bunch of stuff. Even for director, is Kung Fu Panda 2 still your favorite DreamWorks movie? It would probably change to The Prince of Egypt now, I think. Nick, I recently watched an old classic for the first time, Chinatown. I've heard of Chinatown. Don't think I'll watch it because of obvious reasons. So yeah. Goes from 13. I think my favourite Muppet songs are Rainbow Connection, Moving Right Along, Marley and Marley, It Feels Like Christmas, Shiver My Timbers, and Professional Pirate. See? There's a bunch of those from the Brian Henson films. So yeah, point proven. Temperman 24. What do you think of Lord Voldemort? No comment, considering who created him. My mention in 1998, in the Kung Fu Panda movies, who would you consider to be Poe's arch enemy? Arch enemy? I don't know. It doesn't really have He doesn't have an arch enemy, does he? He has like a different villain each film, so I don't know. Senfusuto, how many notes do you take for your written reviews? I don't take notes anymore. I used to. When I started out, I used to take notes. But then I got to a point where I knew exactly how I felt. I knew exactly what I wanted to say, and I just jumped into the script and just went for it. I don't know when that started, but yeah, I just don't bother. I don't bother with notes. The only time I bother with notes now is when I'm in a podcast with Viva, just so I can remember things and have enough material to fall back on. So yeah. Gochu13, do you think it's a problem that Disney remakes are casting major celebrities? I think Disney remakes in general are the problem. I think that the least problem is the major casting major celebrities. But I know why. I know what you mean, because like when they're casting, they tend to like go, well, they're famous. They don't think, okay, is that person right? They go, they're famous. They'll fit. They'll do. So I get what the problem is. Go from 13. What Muppet character would you like to hang out with? Probably Fozzie Bear. Fozzie Bear seems like the one out of all the Muppets where I'd be like, yeah, I could just chill with him. It just seems like he definitely seems like the one I could chill with the most. Because Kermit would probably make each other anxious, because I'm just as anxious as him, and yeah, Kermit's a bit too much like me. So I feel like we probably would get along, but we would probably also bring out the worst from each other. But with Fozzie Bear, Fozzie just seems the most chill out of all of them. And I'll probably find his like really terrible jokes to be fun, because that's what I'm like as well. Sometimes when I'm with friends, I tell terrible jokes, so I feel like we'd have a good laugh and we'd chill out. So yeah, I'll probably go with Fozzie Bear. Champerman 24. Who's your favorite Friends character? Don't watch Friends anymore. Don't like it. Used to love it. Used to be like a family tradition to watch it every Friday, but revisiting it now, can't watch it. It's not aged well at all. Ethan Free director. If you ever come to Florida, you should try Eduardo's Locos Tacos in Tavares. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Karan is currently living in Florida, so that gives me an excuse to go there. Good boy. I think that Family Guy is racial to the British with Stewie and the tea scenes in England. I wouldn't say that's racist. It's just stereotypical. Nick, Rainbow Connection is my favourite Muppets song, and the first movie the Muppets did is my favourite Muppets movie. Sweet. Social Jokes Daddy, did you say pizza pizza or pizza pizza? The first one, so P-I-S-A, pizza. Senfusuto, is there anything about animation that you learned after university? The main thing I learned from my animation course at university was not to worry so much about my characters seeming like they're alive. Because I remember when I was first starting out on the course, I'd animate something, and I was constantly making them move. All the way, just constantly move, because I was so scared people look at it and think like, that doesn't look animated, that doesn't look alive. And my tutor was like, it keeps moving. It just keeps moving. That's not good animation. There needs to be pauses there. Pauses are important because people think, people stop, people reflect, people observe. So that's the main thing I learned from my animation course, if I'm honest. Yeah. Where am I in the chat? Keep doing this. Purple Boy, what do you think of Muppets now? I've not seen it, sorry. Go from 13. When we discussed the scrapped Muppet King Arthur movie, did you say you'd like Merlin as a Muppet or a human character? I don't remember, sorry. That was probably a while ago. But Merlin, I think Sam Eagle would make a good Merlin. But at the same time, I think a really good veteran British actor would be good Merlin. So one of those. I think both would work. Temperament 24. Have you seen the Netflix show F is for Family? No, but I know of it. Nick, I only need 400 more subs on my YouTube channel to reach 40k. Can you share your YouTube channel in chat? Because then we can hopefully get some people in chat to follow you, Nick. Temperman, do you have a TV Tropes account? I don't. I don't really go on TV Tropes, if I'm honest. Per boy, I hate Disney remakes. They're unnecessary and a cash grab and don't change a thing. Agreed. Evan J. Sims, here's a tough question. Would you rather hang out with Doug Walker or J.K. Rowling? I'd rather hang out with... I don't know. I can't even answer that question. They both sound like terrible company. Social Drugs Daddy. Dun, 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 dun. That's an evil question. It is an evil question. I can't answer it. Pub Boy, favourite movie to review and first ever review. My first ever review was of a Aardman short called Ident. My favourite review is possibly my review of Mr. Rogers' Neighbourhood. Mine's 1998. If you ever see the Sesame Street version of Peter and the Wolf, it will give you a somewhat good introduction to the character of Baby Bear. I grew up with seeing him on Sesame Street, but for me, he didn't say much that was funny, and he can be a bit annoying. I'll keep that in mind. So short study. Okay, I misheard it as pizza, so I thought for a second you live in the pit village I used to live in. No. If redirect, in my opinion, Sony sucks at Muppet movies. What are your thoughts on that? I didn't even know Sony had anything to do with Muppets. I thought... Was it Sony that owned... Was it Sony that owned the Muppets before the Disney deal? Because I can't remember who owned it before, but I feel like it was probably... I don't know who it was. My Mission 1998... Did you watch Men in Black International? Nope. I heard it was really boring, so now I'm even less interested in seeing it. GoFan13. Originally, when the Mickey and the Beanstalk segment from Fun and Fancy Free was going to be its own film, Willie's shape-shifting abilities was going to be his downfall, as he would turn into a small person and forget the magic words to turn back to normal, which is foreshadowed in the end result, where he forgets the part of the world and the Fee-Fi-Fo song. Cool. So Shooks Daddy. I never liked Arthur, if I'm honest. The theme gets on my tits for some reason. Always has. The theme? We're referring to, like, the King Arthur legend. I don't know what the theme you mean by theme by Arthur, sorry. Oh, you mean, you're talking about Arthur, the Aardvark character. I love Arthur. I don't think it's... I think there's some things that kind of get on my nerves, but for the most part, I do really quite like it. And I feel like out of all children's media, it's one of the best when it comes to, like, encouraging kids to read. Because that's what's kind of interesting, is the Page Master set out to motivate kids to read. And I think the reason that doesn't work isn't because each scene about each book is short. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is there's no reading. And that's why when I watched The Page Master as a kid, I didn't want to read afterwards. I feel the best way to get kids to read is to show characters reading. Good examples would be, there's an episode of Recess called The Library Kid. That's a really good episode that shows characters enjoying reading. Never Ending Story, that's got the main character reading. So stuff like that. Where am I in the chat and why am I never here? Pep Boy, I think that's a statement. Ethan Free Direct, would you rather hang out with J.R.R. Tolkien or C.S. Lewis? I can't remember who's the less problematic one. I know Tolkien had, like, a racist problem, but C.S. Lewis, I think all I remember about him is that he's Christian. That's all I remember. Timberman 24, what do you think of Blue Sky closing down? It's sad, because they were starting to find their footing, I think. And it's especially suspicious when they got shut down while they were working on an LGBT plus film. That's concerning. So yeah. So Nick has shared his channel. Everyone feel free to subscribe to his channel. GoToFan13, if a human actor played Merlin, who do you think would be a good choice? A couple of ideas off my head are people like Sean Connery, Christopher Lee, and Ian McKellen. Only one of those is still alive. So if we were to do a King Arthur film today, it would be Ian McKellen. But I feel like Ian would be too obvious as Merlin. Trying to think who I'd like. Maybe Patrick Stewart. He's not even done something with the Muppets yet, I don't think. So maybe Patrick. Um. Even free director. Sony did commit Swamp Years, Muppet from Space, and Muppets Take Manhattan. Yeah, those are some of my least favorite ones. So I get you. There's a lot of statements now. I'm trying to find the next question. A lot of chatting to each other now. Any questions for me? Senfasuto, have you ever seen a grade under A video? It sounds familiar, but at the same time it doesn't. Go to Fan 13. It's hard to describe, but when I was little, I liked movies and shows with atmosphere. It's hard to describe the feeling, but it made me feel engaged in the product. Yeah, I know what you mean. I definitely know what you mean, especially when it's like a really strange kind of atmosphere. Ones that feel like dreams. I loved those as a kid. Socialist Yorkshire Daddy. Did you play Rayman as a kid? I did. Okay, so as a kid, when my parents got me a PlayStation, I'd say about 95% of the games were pirated, and they didn't have the official covers. They were just like generic CD cases with like the names written or like typed on. And I had Rayman was one of them. And I remember playing Rayman a lot. I remember loving playing Rayman. There was also Monster Trucks, Spyro. I think I had Gran Turismo 2. I had a motorbike game. There was my brother was really into Final Fantasy. We had some Final Fantasy games. Damn, what other PS1 games did we have? Smackdown 2. I was obsessed with Smackdown 2. I absolutely loved it. I remember when I got it for Christmas, I jumped on my mum and dad like, thank you. So I think out of all games, I mainly played Smackdown 2. And I also had Celebrity Deathmatch. I had a Dragon Ball Z game. I think it was Final Bout. What else did I have? I can't remember. I think that's probably all of them. Where's the next question? Question. Purple Boy, PlayStation or Xbox? PlayStation. 100% PlayStation. I have fonder memories with PlayStation. I got an Xbox when I was much older, so didn't really develop any kind of attachment, and I didn't play that often. Timberman24, do you hate any of the Disney villains? Hate is a strong word. I can't think of any that I would say I hate, especially when you're supposed to hate them. So no. But I don't think that's the best way to describe my dislike of a Disney villain. Go to Fan 13. I meant if the Muppet Arthur movie back in the 90s. If it was in the 90s, I'd still say Patrick Stewart as Merlin. Socialist York's Daddy. Grade under Ray is a fucking cunt. Oh, okay. I've never heard of them. Purple Boy. Who do you like more, Lord Victor Quatermain or the Toad? Probably the Toad. I think the Toad's more interesting. Way more interesting, even. And it has like this really bizarre scheme and drive and motive involving his own spawn. So yeah. Evan J. Sims, have you seen the movie Mirror Mask? That film makes me nauseous. I've not, but I've been wanting to do a whole video about the weirdest British movies ever made, and Mirror Mask would be one of them. Bunny and the Bull, maybe Frank, and there's a British movie called, yes, it does exist. It's called oh damn it. Oh yeah, I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle. And it stars Neil Morrissey, who's the British voice of Bob the Builder, and Anthony Daniels, C-3PO. So yeah, I definitely want to do like a video about the weirdest British films ever made. I would love to do that. My Mansion 19, I saw the first season of Teen Titans and a few clips of Teen Titans Go, and I must say, while Beast Boy was likable in Teen Titans Go, he's an asshole. Ooh dear. I don't like the sound of that because Beast Boy's my favourite Titan. Boy, Wall-E or Up? Wall-E. I really like Wall-E. Yeah, I've watched that multiple times as well. Nick, do you think you'll ever review Toy Story 4? I will, I just can't say when. I've got to be in the mood for it. I've got to be motivated to do it. Goes from 13. What do you think of / TV show executives that think kids need constant noise in order to stay interested? As I previously stated, I was certainly not their idea of a kid. It's not a good idea, that's all I can say. It's not the best way when it comes to children's entertainment, especially if you want to teach kids things like patience and well, yeah, mainly patience. That one of the keys to teaching kids patience is letting them have a chance to enjoy quiet moments and slowing down, which is something I'll definitely be getting into for tomorrow's video. Ethan Free director, did you hear Pepe Le Pew was removed from Space Jam 2? I did, and he should be. He's a very outdated character, and he wasn't even that funny in the first place. Social Jock Daddy, Victor Quartermain. Now I'm going to go for Toad still. Temperman 24, have you seen The Willoughbys? I have. I talk about it in a Jambareeqi sandwich podcast. Can't remember which one, because they're all weirdly titled, sorry. I'm a bit, but yeah, I saw Willoughbys. It was alright. A bit too disjointed. I remember having like a bajillion plots and not knowing what to do with them. One of those kinds of films. Goes from 13. What is your favourite conspiracy theory? Oh, I don't believe in any conspiracy theories, but I find a lot of them to be hilarious. Damn it, I can't. What's the funniest one I've heard? I can't remember what it was now. I remember seeing a whole documentary about like interviewing people with like the most bizarre conspiracy theories. And that was really fascinating just to see how sincere they were about each one. My Man Show 1998. Who's your favourite Wallace and Gromit villain? Trying to remember now. Probably the Penguin. The Penguin is like the most intimidating one. He's genuinely intimidating, but also kind of funny at the same time. So I'll go with that one. That's what you got with comedy villains. It's very difficult because you got to know how much they lean towards being comedic and how much they lean towards being serious, and how that helps the actual short. And I feel like Feathers is a really good example of that, because like he's kind of creepy, but at the same time he fits with the style of comedy. Boy, what are your thoughts on Trolls? I talk about it in my top 5 best and worst DreamWorks movies video, but that was a while back. I remember really not liking it. I think I put it number two worst. Senfasuto, what was your first job? My first job was working at I don't know how to describe it. I think maybe some like British viewers in chat can probably explain it better, but I worked at Wilkinson's. That was my first job, and I hated it. I hated it so much. I hate working for people in general, but that was a job I really hated. But that was the first one. I remember being scolded for like being sleepy, and they had like a whole meeting about how I looked sleepy. I was like, that's the thing I really hate about retail. They just treat it like a robot. If a redirector is Toy Story 2 still your favourite Pixar movie? Probably. It's been a while since I revisited it. Temper 24. Ever watched Star Trek: The Next Generation? I have, but I wouldn't say like I'm a mega fan or anything. Like I've not watched every episode. I just know of it, and I watched it a lot as a teenager. It was one of those things I would catch on TV sometimes. But boy, which is better, Dexter's Lab, Danny Phantom, or Powerpuff Girls? I've not seen Danny Phantom, so I can't really fairly say. But boy, do you like snakes? I love them. Oh, I love snakes. Snakes are awesome. They could be cute too. They could be surprisingly cute. Snakes can. And I've got a friend that has like a collection of snakes and lizards and reptiles in his room. March 1998. What do you think of characters voiced by Rob Paulson? I love Rob's voice. He has a fantastic voice, and like he will often play like very nerdy characters, but he can also play other kinds of characters. But I just love the characters he usually plays, because they're usually just really, really damn wholesome and silly, and like that's my favorite kind of character. The only time I thought Rob Paulsen was miscast was for Little Mermaid 2 as Prince Eric. It's one of the weirdest voice castings ever, and as soon as you hear his voice, it's like, that's Rob Paulsen. That's literally Rob Paulsen. A Disney prince sounds like Pinky from Pinky the Brain right now. It's really weird. I don't know why they went with him. You'd think that Rob would be cast as like one of the more comedic characters. Infamy director, have you heard about the mattress firm and the Chicky Cheese conspiracy theory? Nope. Ghost 13, have you heard the conspiracy theory that people like the royal family and various presidents are alien lizards? I've heard of that, and I was gonna say that one. I've heard of it. My Mansion 1998, what do you think of Madagascar 2? I remember enjoying it more than the first film, but only by a bit. But I don't really remember it very well. Memories are very blurred when it comes to Madagascar 2, I'm afraid. NWZ ANDE 1104201. Thoughts on Totally Spies? I've not watched it since I was a kid, I'm afraid, so no comment. Pebboy, what do you think is the least likely area to find the paranormal? No idea, because I don't really follow the paranormal, I don't really believe in it. F&J Sims, what do you think makes Toy Story 2 surpass the original? Off the top of my head, I can't really say, because I'd have to like revisit them both to like work it out. But I don't know. I think for me, why I like Toy Story 2 the most is that it's the most existential out of them all, in a way that still leaves things hanging. I really like that about Toy Story 2. Like when you watch as a kid, it's just a bit of fun. But when you watch as an adult, there's a lot of things that are brought up that really make you think, and you're kind of like, whoa. Yeah. So that's for me. That's why I really like Toy Story 2. Ghost from 13, would you rather leak the secrets of the CIA or Russian government or Chinese government? I'll be screwed either way, so no comment. Pepperboy, favourite Mark Hamill role? Probably Joker. I know it's really obvious, but probably Joker. Really love his Joker. But I also recently heard John DiMaggio's Joker, and I was like, dang, that's good. That's a really good Joker. Same for Suter. Who's your favourite actor? I don't really have one, if I'm honest. I particularly like actors that just lose themselves in the role and you forget who they are. Those are my favourite kind of actors. Jesse's backstory as well. Yeah, that's a really good reason to like Toy Story 2. It's a really great backstory. Ghost 13, do you think you'll review any of the 80s Scooby-Doo direct-to-video films like Boo Brothers, Gore School, and Reluctant Werewolf? Yeah, I'd like to... I want to do more Scooby-Doo videos, I really do. It's just that there's so many that I just don't know which to pick. I don't know. I have considered doing a top 5 on it, but I don't know if my audience wants me to do regular top 5 videos anymore, because every time I've done a top 5 video, it's not really got that many views. So I'm getting to the point now where it's like, do people want me to do top 5s? If they do, what topic? So yeah. And like there's like 40 Scooby-Doo films, so imagine watching all of those, making a top 5 of it, and Tumbleweed. Meh. Pebbleboy, most emotional Disney/DreamWorks movie deaths not include. I don't know what that means, sorry, by not but most emotional death, probably... I'm going to avoid that, actually, because I don't make any spoilers. No spoilers, so I'll avoid answering that. My Mansion 1998. I saw reviews on Free Land Before Time movies. If you ever want to do another, I suggest the 7th one called The Stone of Fire, mainly because of the villains. I hate my reviews of the Land Before Time sequels. I hate them. I really regret them. I was way too harsh on them. And that's my feeling about a lot of my old videos. And I have considered just doing like a whole video, or like like a series or divided parts where I cover all the Land Before Time films, and I can go back to those sequels and be nicer to them and fairer to them. So yeah, I definitely will get around to the others. It's just that I felt after I was planning to do every single one, and then after I was doing them, my style of reviewing changed, and I was like, I don't like the attitude I'm going in with. Because when I started doing the Land Before Time sequels, I went in with a gimmick. I went in with an agenda. I was like, ooh, I'm going to watch all the Land Before Time sequels. They're known for being really bad. Ooh, can I handle them? And that's a terrible way of going into reviewing that I've tried my best to avoid since. So, yeah. And ever since my style of reviewing changed, I feel self-conscious suddenly. And I'm like, I don't want to go back to that. It brings out the worst side of me. So, yeah. If I was to go back to them, I'd do it completely differently. I'm gonna set off soon, so I'm gonna do a couple more questions. Even for direct, have you seen the '60s Star Trek show? I have. I watched it quite a lot. I'd catch it on TV in the morning sometimes, very early morning. Social Jock's Daddy, favorite Randy Newman song. I don't know. What's that song to do with Changes? I really like the Changes song. Oh, that Strange Things Are Happening. That one, yeah. I really like that one. It's probably my favourite Randy Newman song. NW. Thoughts on Mandus only being known for Our House in the US. Ooh. Really? They're only known for Our House? Oh. They need to be known for other things. They've got a really good catalogue. Pip-Boy, Ratatouille or the little paddle fighter, which is worse? I've not seen either, sorry. GhostFan13, do you think Scooby-Doo meeting Tom and Jerry would be an interesting crossover? If they can do it, I don't know. Because most of the crossover films are they're either average or terrible. The only one that actually worked was the Robin Hood one. So I don't know. It depends, and I feel like the thing with Scooby-Doo is that it's already got a really big ensemble cast, so imagine throwing in a cat and mouse as well. I don't know. There probably is a way, but I wouldn't be convinced until someone proved it. Senfusuta, what is your least favourite Japanese snack? I don't think I have one. No, I don't. I've not tried the worst of the worst. I've heard there's some really bad stuff. I remember seeing Abroad in Japan's video when he tried like bee larvae, and like it was really bad. So I can't really say. Right, I should definitely head off. Now. Very sorry to anyone that I've not answered for, but I've definitely got to head off now. Hope you enjoyed the stream. It's going to be archived to my highlights channel. Anyone that's not subscribed to the highlights channel, please feel free to do so. And tomorrow, 7 PM UK time, I'll be releasing a 70-minute video about 8 different animated superhero films that were released straight to video. Yes, that's going up. It's finally done. Finally finished it today. Patrons can watch it now, but it goes up on YouTube tomorrow. So yeah, look out for